Charlie, forward, draw the sword, forward, up and round.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Scottish campaign. We're ending off more or less, or we're starting off more or less, right at where we ended last time around. It's the winter of 1741, and last time we managed to... what did we do? We didn't actually capture any territories. Or, yes and no. People gave us territories. They gave us Bosnia, and then they gave the Swedes, ended up giving us this, right up here. And we did sink an Ottoman navy. As you can see right now, there's no Ottoman navies here. Not because I sunk the other one. The other one seemed to have disappeared. I don't know where it's gone. But the good thing is I have now been able to prepare the three areas, so Jerusalem, Damascus and Cairo, so that I can actually leave them. So my armies are already on the way. So we got Ross Arlton. He's moving up through here and he's gonna move through. He's gonna go up to the port here in Beirut and then jump through there. Meanwhile, we've got Glenn Kerr moving through the Syrian desert. It's gonna hit this river crossing and then turn down towards Baghdad and deal with that. As we continue forward here, we can see that the Armenian army has now left Armenia and is halfway on the way to attack Ankara in Anatolia. And the wait a minute, the entire... I should have known. I clicked on Armenia and I saw that it had like mostly Armenian archers. The entire army is just Armenian archers. Something like 30-ish plus units of just Armenian archers. Nothing else almost. Some Kurdish hillmen, so they managed to drag some Kurds with them, and some Azars. But otherwise, just Armenian archers. Also, they've been gathering troops close to Istanbul. Istanbul is... oh yeah, they're still hemorrhaging... ooh, the bankruptcy is up to 12 points now. That's not very good. Especially since it minus... their bloody capital region boasts a wealth of 1,340. Everyone is like dirt poor. No wonder I didn't really run into that many other 40 stacks anywhere. Everyone is like dirt poor except me and France, I imagine Spain. Sweden is probably pretty strong as well. There's a few nations. The Prussians, I'm not sure. The Prussians have actually recently lost Silesia to the Polish-Lithuanians. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the Prussians. And somehow they managed to lose Königsberg to the Russians. So, who knows. In between episodes as well, I managed to set up peace with the Crimean Tatars and the... what's it called? North African pirates. So we're no longer at war with them, which is good. Right, so for this episode, we'll see. There's a smaller force here, so 20 stack. And then they're gathering troops here. And then we got some troops up in the mountains here. But it seems like we're gonna fight a whole load of archers as they come through here. I didn't realize we have one religious school here, and we did have one religious school over here. The religious school doesn't help in converting, or as far as I thought anyways. I thought they didn't do that. Promote Turkish culture in the populace. When I build such schools, I think... oh, they promote culture. I thought they only really... what's it called? added happiness to those that were already converted. Anyways, right, the armies are on the way. This army is sitting tight for now, waiting for attack. The fleet is about to make its jump to go ahead and hunt some Ottoman trade navy. I have reduced the amount of trade ships I have. I wonder if I should ramp that up, because I have very few ships at every sort of port. So I've only got 2 here, I only got 2 here, and I only got 2 here. I wonder if I just should start to spam a load of these cheap sloops and get like tons of them out to trade even more in the different resources, or at least like test out what the sort of level is in terms of like when do we hit like a level where it's no longer profitable to do that. Isn't there like a second upgraded trade ship in Yemen where it has more guns? If we look at the last trading port, doesn't it add like another one of these Indiaman ships that has like more guns? Or is that not in this? What is the biggest ship I'm going to get through this port right here? There's so many ports in England. Heavy carronade frigate, 110, 120 ship of the line is the largest one we'll get. Enough of that though. Let's see. Is there anything else? Technology. Nothing really interesting there. We're about to research light infantry doctrine for turns, which will allow me to field light infantry. Not entirely sure how to fit that into the armies just yet, but we'll see. Right. Let's go ahead and see then if we can deal with this horde of Armenian archers. Let's end turn. Oh yes, most importantly, the king has not died. So, he's still alive. That's good. Surprise, surprise. The enemy armies forego their opportunity to strike against me, and instead they are combining outside the city. What I want to do is I want to move out to face them. They go ahead and... Oh! Look at that. I thought that the Ottomans are really starving, aren't they? So the reinforcement army is actually the stronger one. The army of the Armenian archers, I don't know what the original strength size of these archer units are, but it's a full stack of 40 units. It barely carries 3,000 men. I imagine it's definitely something like a half strength in terms of the number of troops. They must have all been starving. In terms of what's going to be interesting here is to watch out for the reinforcement army. The reinforcement army carries some really heavy cavalry, and those guys are to watch out for, because they will at a certain point while I'm fighting all of this stack will turn up and just tumble straight into whatever they find of my army, and that could lead to dire consequences. But besides that, let's go ahead and slaughter the Armenians. We are in Turkey after all. And here we are on the battlefield. I kind of was mistaken. I thought that, seeing the battlefield as it is, I thought, okay, so there's a small clump of troops there, but the rest of the archers are hidden. This is going to be difficult. That was until I actually got close to this lump of troops and realized that is the army. This is the enemy army clumped together, all 38 units in one lump right there. We've got then the additional 2 units out here. Currently I've got 2 brigades, the Irish backed up by Lord Gordon's regiment, ready to march against that 1 unit. Then we've got Guard Grenadiers, followed by Scottish Line Infantry, moving on this one right here. And then I've got the Guard Infantry, so Culloden's own, and then Scottish Line Infantry, and then the Scottish Line Infantry with a load of member units in it. Those 3 are marching here. Here we got the artillery, and here I've got all the cavalry. My plan right now is to move the artillery forward to about here, where there's a slight ledge, so it will let the cannons sort of fire above this area right here. Moving further forward, I feel like that would risk getting them too close. At this range, I think they are actually within canister range, so I could fire a canister. So I would start just firing loads and loads of canister, or if we start with round shot towards this heap of troops. Once they start to break up due to the tremendous artillery fire they're under, that is when the 2 cavalry brigades will sweep in. The heavy brigade will move through here and then strike, while the Henrik's Lions will go further up and then strike like that down upon them, and will get rid of them that way. The thing is though, the enemy cavalry is going to come in, and so that's why I've moved 3 brigades over here, so basically to protect the cannons and the cavalry. To get that extra, get a few squares going in there. Right, so if I switch to canister now. Okay, so canister doesn't reach, reaches about here. But I still have the option then of firing round shot and bouncing shots through that mess. I think will still prove pretty potent. They've lined themselves up to get utterly destroyed. I'm gonna run these guys to get into position, because we're about to start this thing, and soon enough that smaller reinforcement army is gonna come in. This just makes such a big change now when fighting the Ottomans. Oh, they're releasing another unit out of the mother unit. 1 more unit is allowed to leave. Right, with that, guns are ready. The general is coming to join to watch the spectacle. And now I'm gonna order the attack. So all the guns, there we go. And it just rips through. And that was a full round from the cannons going into the enemy. They're still kind of holding it. About here is where they get into canister range. So I think I'm going to continue, so even the second shot will be round shot. But then I think we'll switch to canister. Oh, I forgot I should start moving the cavalry units. I should have probably ordered them to move before I fired. Right, we have units going into town now. Getting rather close to the enemy. Look at the amount of troops that were killed here in the first go. Holy moly, the cannons got a field day. Okay, so we got massive amount of their troops retreating. We're gonna detach Royal Highlanders and one of the Scottish Line Infantry to deal with the units here, and then we're gonna have, let's see, there's another Highlander unit here somewhere. There. They need to come in line here with the units of Highlanders right behind. Okay, I'll order the cavalry to speed up. I'll order them to pick target at will. These 3 brigades just about to come into position. I'm gonna sprint the guard infantry, and then we're gonna have the other 2 march up in good order here. We've got more units routing. I'll have the heavy cavalry start their advance, and then Henrik's Lions, I'll take the first 2 brigades to move around, and then the other 2 will be chasing down the retreating troops. Oh, they've started shooting the blasted arrows at us. Alright, this unit was defeated by the Highlanders. There we go. Alright. Which one am I snagging on? That one. Alright, heavy cavalry come in and clear this out. As the cavalry is now coming in, I'm ordering the cannons to hold fire, and the guard infantry, which is now running up. I'm missing one. Should get up ahead of this right here. Right, a heavy cavalry sweep in and start killing these guys. Henrik's Lions going after these, and make sure that you get most of that. And the heavy cavalry now just sweeping in over these. Yet to spot oh, this cannon crew was kind of sent off from its position there. We're just forcing these enemies to rush into the troops that are over here. Oh yeah, you should be at fire at will. Chase down that one, chase down that one, you chase down that one. So far, so good. Haven't seen where the enemy reinforcements are going to come from. And perhaps I'm tiring out my cavalry by having them didn't I tell my cannon? Oh yes, that one fired. Didn't I tell my cannons to hold fire? He fires still, even though I told him to not to do that. Right, where is the enemy reinforcements turning up from? That one is the larger unit. That's only 19 men. That's only 4. There's no point in you chasing those. It's better than that we chase down some of the units that are running over here. Charging these troops down. Right, the enemy reinforcements should be start to be seen, but they are not. Also, I'm specifically waiting to attack this one. When I attack this one and defeat him, well, actually I could attack him right now and defeat him before the reinforcement army turns up, and that would actually mean that both those armies get defeated with me only having to face one. So I'm putting the Irish brigade into action, and then I just keep chasing down the units here. There was a few units that were rallying out here. Get rid of them. And suddenly, this battle was a complete rout for the enemy. Oh, and the Irish... there they are! There's the enemy reinforcements. God damn it. Into square immediately. Heavy lances go straight into... Of course it's James Graham's own that end up right in front of the enemy lancers. Right. Gordon's move up. I guess they sent the general to die. Oh! James Graham's own is heavily cut down to size. Even when the unit is within square, the Ottoman lancers just rip through. Do my recall the cavalry? Do my cannons have range with round shot? That was bad. James Graham's own is gonna be annihilated because of that. Gordon's form square. Everyone forms square. I said as much that it was gonna be real bad if they turned up like that, but 4 men, only 4 men out of James Graham's own survived. Jesus Christ. They just rode straight into that and slaughtered them all. Holy crap. I could have just as easily just defeated all of these before the reinforcement army arrived. But no. Holy crap. They stood and fight though, or fought the enemy, until there was only 4 men left. It's a stunning victory, besides that unit being completely lost. It's a stunning victory. Hold fire with the artillery. We're risking to blow our own men up. Those Ottoman lancers are not to be underestimated. Alright. Gordon Highlanders opening up on the enemy. And my cavalry is pouring in to deal with the now rather tired enemy lancers. I figured that my cavalry is going to be able to just Even though my cavalry is pretty tired as well. They should be able to just ride the enemy down, I think. There's more cavalry coming in. A lot more cavalry. Form square. Oh, you need to form square. It's too late, I think. It's better for them to fire into the last there against the Ottoman lancers. Tons of enemy units are breaking away from this fight. And then we got 2 additional brigades. We've got another cavalry unit ready to be set in. Gordon Highlanders held out there. Was able to force that unit away. More and more units are breaking under the pressure of the cavalry. It is one Lancer unit that holds on. See about catching as many of these. There, they're broken. See about catching as many of these units as possible. And it started off so well, and of course it has to be a named unit that they just thunder into. God damn it. Alright, the cavalry will avenge them, crush the enemy, and there we are. We are victorious. Here's the result after that battle. We deploy 7,158 men against 5,001 of the enemy. We only lose 845, however. Of those 845, about 220 something is just from James Graham's own, which is completely annihilated in the fight due to enemy Lancer attack. The enemy loses 4,234 men, having only 767 men remaining after the battle. Highest kills goes to the 3 cannons plus a Scottish cuirassier unit. Lord Gordon's regiment ends up as the highest line infantry units. As we go through, let's see what most lost. There we go. Irish Brigade. Only 4 men remaining. 78. They took 78 cavalry with them before they died. But they were completely unprepared, taken off guard, and just charged down by multiple Lancer units and destroyed. It's interesting. I said as much before the battle that I might be taken surprised by the enemy reinforcements. And I did. And it cost me one of my units, which I cannot replace right now. I'll have to re-recruit a unit all the way back in Ireland and send it down here. Not great. Great, but not great. So the 2 enemy armies completely crushed. We've got 2 units left here. We got 3 units left here. We'll go ahead and replenish and keep a hold of the town. Soon enough, we've got Ross Oddleton moving up through here, and he'll be able to kill stragglers and stuff. Given the fact that we know now that the fact that so many has deserted from the Ottoman army means that we can just keep running through literally everything they put up against us here. Which is going to be rather great, isn't it? Meanwhile, I'm actually building out quite a force up here. So I'm thinking this force can actually move out here and start seizing territories. A lot of this, I'm figuring I do not want to hold on to a lot of this. So my thinking is that we'll award other nations a lot of these territories. But I'm not sure who. Perhaps I could try and see if some areas would revolt and become their own nations. Because I did notice that I do not actually have that many trade partners compared to what I've had in what I had in my Empire 2 campaign. So even just having a small one region nation, if I'm able to set up with trade, that could be better to have than having you know, controlling the territory on my own. I wonder here if I am able to... No. I thought perhaps I would be bordering some smaller nation. I'm not entirely sure what nation will spawn out of this. I'm not sure that any nation will spawn out of this. But yeah, it would be nice if we could have more nations. Definitely, what I'm thinking, definitely once we get to the war with Spain, I think that we will try and like re-establish Portugal, so that I can just so I can trade with them, and breaking up a lot of these territories. I don't know what nations would be spawning out of any of this. Definitely reinstating the Netherlands. They would get 2 territories there, could be a good ally against France once war comes there. And stuff like that. But I'm not entirely sure what this would be split up. I'm sure Armenia can become its own nation. But who knows? Don't think I want to add too much to the Persian Empire. So not handing territory to them. Perhaps Georgia wants some more regions. They've built... I don't know why they don't build trade ports out of these. When they're a small nation like this, because they could make so much more money and be so much better than to have this crap. You are currently trading with Dagestan. What the crap is Dagestan even? What if I destroy Dagestan? What? Oh, you're trading... Wait, doesn't this yield a trade? Is it higher levels of this that would yield trade that actually gives increased export capacity? I would give the Georgians naval technology then, so perhaps they would build out their port and I could trade with them. Clearly I cannot. They can give them a threshing machine. But that's very highly priced, since I've gained regions from gifting that technology. So I don't think we're going to do that. What kind of troops can I... Definitely going to build some organ guns. That's pretty good. First things first, we're going to re-recruit the Irish unit. And then we're going to end turn. I'm thinking we will be seizing these 2 territories, and hopefully I will have it prepared pretty well that we will be moving on towards Istanbul and stuff. The Ottomans are definitely... I don't know, at this point, if I was the Ottomans, I would probably be ready for peace. Or if they sort of figure that at this point it's too late for peace, in a way. That they're so screwed. They might be able now, because so many units died, that they might be able to change around their bankruptcy, and that won't be as bad. But who knows? They're not doing any trade out of here, are they? Because if so, I need to destroy it. No, no trade. Right, let's go ahead and end turn and see if we can't take Baghdad from the Ottomans. Agent recruited. He looks more than a scholar than a spy, but I'm sure it is a spy. A very sickly spy. I already have a spy walking all the way through Persia to get here, because they couldn't bother buying him a ticket onto a ship. Right, the Irish unit is re-recruited. Ranald Barclay. It must be in government then. Fleet arrives. Ah, my fleet. Wonderful. Let's see then. Where's the Ottoman Navy? The Georgian Navy? Wait, where's the Ottoman? They're not here? Why has no one seized this port? Louisiana, Georgia, and Russia. The Ottoman Navy is no longer here. The Ottoman Navy that forced me away from, I think, these 2 spots. They're no longer here. Wild goose chase. We went all the way here just to go all the way back. Lots of stuff that needs building. Just gonna have to go through this so I don't miss. Oh, a lot of the Anatolian stuff I can probably fix. And Egypt stuff. It's the things in India that I need to keep an eye on. so I don't miss them. Most of it is in the newly conquered territories. And then just checking on the ministers who died. One of these guys, but I don't know who, and they all kind of look the same. We have no one that's really stands out here. Perhaps this guy. He's got a lot of happiness for lower classes. So if we have someone that is this justice guy isn't actually that great. Iron Hand, but secret police, thief taker. He's a 5-star. This guy is also a 5-star. That's actually treasury, happiness. No, there's no one right now that feel like they need replacing. Let's head back here then and go ahead and seize Baghdad. Right, they do not as you can see, a lot of these units starved, but they also have they're starting to recruit some new units. This is an out-result though. We'll lose 730 men, kill 2,323. And with that, ancient Mesopotamia, it comes under my control. Wonderful. We'll go ahead and replenish all of that. Mesopotamia captured. I'll go ahead and figure out what I want to do with Mesopotamia. Definitely gonna destroy the small religious schools. I don't know why they have so many of them when the territory is... actually, Turks, Arabs, Armenians. There's actually quite a few different peoples here. So then I can understand why they're trying to increase the amount of Turks. Right. You're gonna go ahead and get these guys. We lose 182 against 83. And then move through here. And then you'll be hitting that within no time. This region, I can actually sorta leave it. We're gonna need some troops to hold on to it, which is gonna be this crappy militia, unfortunately. But then I can actually march on Istanbul, and this force right here will gain 4 units of cavalry. I'll put a general on this, and then I can go up and capture Croatia, force this navy out, just in time, hopefully, for my navy to come back from the East Indies to go ahead and crush them. Right, we might move this navy now to... you know what? I should have placed them here. I should have placed them here a long time ago. Why didn't I think of that? To block the strait, so this army is now stuck here on the wrong side. And you know what? There's really no army besides these cavalry units that could stop me. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna leave. Which brigade should I leave? We'll leave the guards. The guard grenadiers will be left to hold this, while we march to destroy this one, which is now stuck on the wrong side of the strait. The cavalry will lead the attack. Boom. 173 lost and 1,000 killed. And the cavalry. Right, and we'll redo the replenishment. Boom. Wonderful. Right. Next up then is to march for Armenia. And we're back after the end turn. We're going to go ahead and combine these units. Go ahead and replenish them once more. I do have a force here that is moving against us, so I'm going to move this army back. We're going to have these guys come... Oh, no. We're going to have the Grenadiers move back into the army, and the army move like that. So this region is being able to hold its own. I am not going to deter this army to go ahead and crush that. Instead, I want these guys to continue right into that. This one is being held for now, and no interest in moving my force just yet. With that, you know what, I will end turn once more. My army, or my navy isn't turned up yet, but once it turns up, I'll send it over here, so once I force these guys out, we can sink that navy. I think, though, perhaps that navy is part of why they've got such... I mean, it's not a great navy, but I think perhaps it is part of why they are bankrupt. There's a lot more areas that will suffer because of this, because the Ottomans are certainly not getting any more money anytime soon here. Right, end turn. This army hopefully will make the jump almost directly and take that out. And at that point, I think we'll call it a day. I was hoping that the enemy army here would have moved away, allowing me free passage straight to where I wanted to go. Right, so it's one more turn and then we attack that. Meanwhile, they're gathering a smaller force right here, and that's an easy auto-resolve battle. We lose 423, they lose all their men, 1700 roughly. 1700 minus 1. And then we avenge the Irish by taking out the last of these bloody lancers. And suddenly Anatolia has been cleared of Ottoman presence. This province is not too happy with just the troops that I've garrisoned here. I'm going to need to move troops over here. Or move the army over there. Right, one more end turn. And then we've seized all their non-European territory. Wonderful. And there we are, the final jump. Boom. Now Armenia is under our control. That leaves just a handful of enemy units rummaging around. Oh, even with that, what am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, they keep burning down this place, which is causing a lot of trouble. Just to make sure that I hold it, we'll make a load of inns everywhere. Not that... right. Well, I'm gonna need those guys. Ooh, look at that, great cannons. 140 in power. And organ guns. And then Arabic auxiliaries. I'll have to take a closer look if they're any good. I would have definitely would have liked if I could have recruited their lancers, because they're really strong. Interesting though that I'm allowed to get a load of their heavy cannons. Right, but with that said, I think it's high time here to end it. To end this episode, I'm going to end it. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at... Oh yeah, I forgot about the Navy just came in. Next time, hopefully, since we're kind of reached a sort of stalemate with the Ottomans, in that I've blocked them from coming into Anatolia, this is all that's left. In between this and the next, I will make sure that all three armies should be able to be ready to move through, and we'll see about claiming as much as possible here. I'm not entirely sure though how I will slice and dice, and what areas I will give away to other powers. Perhaps Armenia will be handed over to the Georgians and stuff like that. If the Greeks were here, I would consider giving them the Istanbul region. I'm not entirely sure if nations can spawn up here. It could be interesting just to see what kind of rebel armies would be spawning here, just to spawn smaller nations. Ultimately, I think they would be eaten. So perhaps just all the other Ottoman territories here would be handed over to the Prussians, as I'm trying to build some kind of counterweight to the French that could be a potential ally in the future. But all of that is way in the future. Right now, I have crushed the crippled old fool, which is the Ottoman Empire. And with that said, I will be saying, like I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.